for August 19, 2024. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Cerrone?
Here.
Mr. Gatewood? Ms. Johnson? Dr. Murillo?
Here.
Mr. Floker?
Present.
Ms. Stapleton?
Present.
Ms. Lindman?
Present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good pledge. Worked on that one.
Okay, since there's no public comment, we will move on to 5.1, Superintendent Report. Dr. Kelgati, please.
Good evening, Board. Welcome back to the 24-25 school year. It's been wonderful to be out in our schools with members of our leadership team, members of our Board of Education, as well as all of our district staff. And just really, I can tell you the excitement is palpable in our schools. Great seeing students reunited with their friends, meeting their new teachers, and getting back in the groove of learning together. Our youngest learners in early childhood started today, and so all schools are officially in session. All right. As with most learning opportunities, there have been a few challenges, and we know that transportation routes are not running all the time as we have expected or expect, and we definitely do not feel this is in any way acceptable. It is our mission. In a few minutes, I'll invite Mr. Obafemi to speak to that briefly and some of the ways we need to diagnose it. I want to thank our families for their understanding, but also your communication. It really makes a difference, and sometimes you feel like you're not being heard, but we want you to know we are hearing every single person who calls and reaches out to us. We are reaching back, and we're making our efforts, and if we're not getting to you yet, we will get to you and address the issues. I want to assure you that our team has been working 7 days a week to improve this. Today we began a web page because on Friday we saw there were challenges with the communication systems went down. So today we instituted a backup plan and we started loading our routes to the transportation web page on our website. In the event that, and this way when there's a late route possibly, it shows up there automatically based on working with our dispatch. I want to thank our dispatch team and our teams at the Transportation Department for really working, really meaning since it's almost 24/7 for the last 4 or 5 days to get the call.
With Here Comes the Bus, with the Versatron routing system, with Power School, I think part of it is the fact that a lot of schools are going back at the same time. So the technology firm that supports transportation, they having problem too, which is impacting us. But that is no excuse. We have to do better, and we're working very hard to do better. And we promise you that we'll be available to take your call, to answer your question. We are making sure that we get it right, and we're working hard to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Obafemi. With that, we've been working very hard in our Human Resources Department to ensure that every position was staffed, whether it was a full-time educator or personnel, or with somebody who we had to bring in as a temporary person to make sure that every student was welcomed by a welcoming face. Dr. Zwemke, do you want to add anything to this?
Sure. Good evening, Dr. Kelgati and Board of Education. Much like transportation, we are making a lot of progress. We're not exactly where we want to be yet. We still have some open positions within our district. Our team is working 7 days a week as well, doing paperwork sessions. Tonight, we're bringing to the board a number of recommendations, 37 recommendations for support staff, 8 recommendations for some new teachers. We continue to work to recruit new staff in our district. All open vacancies are supplemented in a variety of different ways for our system. In some cases, it's a daily sub. In some cases, a dedicated building sub, which is a part of our system where the same teacher stays in the classroom every day. Sometimes we contract that service, for example, a psychologist or teacher's assistant. Those positions are worked through we have a process that begins within our special education department, that goes through human resources and runs through finance. We are currently working through a non-compete clause where we are looking at a variety of ways to bring on very good former contract employees for us. We prefer, in all cases, to have our own SD308 personnel, our contract people, while they are performing a task. Our preference is an SD308 employee that is supported by our 4 local great unions. The other thing that we have to be careful of is with Illinois school code, a substitute teacher may only serve for 90 school days for any single position in a school year before they're a teacher of record. So we need to be cognizant of that as well. But rest assured, there is an adult in every class, every day, with every child, okay? We are allocating resources appropriately. We will continue to build not only for this year, more in our reserve, but our teacher residency program that is being launched this year and led by Anna Marie Candelario and Reagan Songroth are hopeful that those 20 residents will be teachers in our system next year. And that will help us be aggressive against the teacher shortage nationwide. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And just to bring just one more quick comment, just want to acknowledge again all the people behind the scenes who really make our first start so successful. Our operations teams, our custodials, transportation, crossing guards, office staff, teaching assistants, and many more other really important roles, student registration to really get that start of the year running, and really led by our school leaders, our principals who really invested time in preparing to welcome our educators and staff back to make this the best place for our students to grow and learn. On a more board-related, I just want to thank, we had our back-to-school bash. We had some lemonade stand volunteers. I think, Latanya, you were out there volunteering that day. Mary Jo. Ursula back there. Thank you, Ursula. I heard lots of, we served over 1,000 lemonades, I think it was, that day, just to welcome folks back. I know many people were passionate about doing that. And I want to thank everybody for really coming out to celebrate this important day of coming back together. As a reminder, this is really, we couldn't wish for a better start. And I want to thank everybody for their efforts. And with that, I'll open up to any additional comments.
On behalf of our entire district, we thank the 30 area businesses and organizations who participated in our Back to School Bash, speaking of Back to School Bash, event for staff and their families. This great level of community involvement showcased the importance of our schools and our staff in the community where they live and work. We look forward to even more partnerships forming in the future.
Could you let's say that? I'm sorry.
Another announcement. On Friday, September 6th, our satellite food pantry distribution will resume at the old Trauber building on Franklin. This is open to anyone who needs additional food resources. Please come by between 6 and 7:30. We thank the Kendall County Community Food Pantry for their continued partnership in this effort to support our community.
Excuse me, as a matter of process, Ursula, if there needs to be a movement to public comment at the end, that's fine too. We can make that motion.
Yeah, I can go.
Yeah, let folks know if they would like, or if they want to address it. She wants to address it with Heather, that's fine too.
All right. Have you checked out the first day videos and pictures on our Facebook page yet? If you want a guaranteed smile, check it out. It's easy to see and feel the excitement in our students and staff on that exciting day.
I did check that out. Yeah, and it did give me a smile. So, the Blue and Silver Bash was a huge success last week. Panther Fest takes place at OHS this Friday. These two community events hosted by our high schools are among the many ways they seek to connect their community with our schools. We hope many families, future Wolves and Panthers, and alumni can enjoy the festivities.
And to go off of superintendent comments that were earlier, do you enjoy working with kids and making a difference in the lives of our future generations? Well, have we got the job for you? We encourage you to consider a career with SD308. We are hiring for bus monitors and drivers, teaching assistants, custodians, and other essential roles that don't require previous experience. You'll receive the training and guidance you need to succeed in one of these important, crucial roles. Check out our openings on our district website.
All right. And with that, I pass it back to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Calgatti. 5.2, board member comments. Are there any board member comments? You can start over here.
Sure. I will defer to somebody else talking to speak to all the school visits that took place. But there are two things that I did want to bring up. First of all, because I didn't see it anywhere, I wanted to share that Garrett Forward has an open house this weekend.
24th.
Garrett Forward.
Oh, Garrett Forward, uh-huh.
And it is from 1 until 3, if anyone wants to go. 1 to 3, it's at 71 Stonehill. It's at their headquarters. There will be hot dogs, I'm told.
It's good when they grill out.
It's really, you know, if you have a student that's even remotely interested in robotics, I suggest you bring them out to kind of check things out. It's very, the open house at least is very laid back. And there's a lot of cool things that these kids do. It's actually pretty amazing what these kids do. So if you get the opportunity, stop by. That's this Saturday. The only other comment I want to make is I've gotten a couple comments from parents about clubs that are parent-based, kind of like PTOs and that type of thing, with a lack of leadership. And I just wanted to say that I mean, you know, as a board, there's not a whole lot we can do because it's goes back to parental involvement. But if you have any opportunity to get more involved in your school, in your student's school, please step up and do so. I know people say that they're busy. We're all busy. That's unfortunately not an excuse anymore, but if you do have the opportunity and you have the inclination, I would strongly encourage you to step up and participate. That's all from me.
Big impact, too.
Yeah.
Just wanted to comment that many of the board members have been out in schools, visiting schools on the first week with Dr. Calgatti. Those are going to continue next week. I know tomorrow, or this week, last week and this week. I know tomorrow I'll be at Fox Chase Elementary in the morning. I was with Mr. Gatewood earlier, or last week. And I know LaTanya and Mary Jo, Jared have been to some other schools as well. So we really enjoy seeing all the excitement around the first day of school and have enjoyed those visits and look forward to other visits in the future.
Just real quick, because I have to. Sorry, I'll make it real quick. I appreciate the update on transportation, and I agree. Like, we're not trying to make an excuse, but I do think it's important to inject into the conversation that we're not alone when it comes to some of the issues that we're experiencing. And I mean, I could speak to a couple districts I know that, like, they have some stories also. And the labor market has not, like, all of a sudden just loosened up and here we go. You know, it is still a very tight market, and a lot of these districts are trying to compete for a finite amount of workers. And so I'm not trying to say that that's the only thing that's going on, but nonetheless, I do think we need to be cognizant and be able to compartmentalize what is labor market issues and what are things that we can fix.
Good point.
I will will speak to the STEAM program that Mrs. Winmouth and I went to attend at Wolf's Crossing in Bednarsik. So, you know, STEAM is mathematics and science and engineering and all of those disciplines. And there were 850 students over the course of, I think, a couple of weeks who signed up to participate in this program. And it was a waiting list for other students to get into it. It's like a summer program for students. We partnered with an organization that provided these students with computer-aided design and coding and all sorts of the disciplines around STEAM, and they were able to take their projects home with them. So they were learning in the moment, like how to code for this machine that they built, and they could see it in real time, like if they were supposed to go left and it didn't go left, they could come back and recode it. I mean, and then from what I understand, it's $250 per student, and this organization was taking care of that. And for them to be able to take their projects home was like the light in the eyes of those students to know that they were working on something that they could physically and tangibly have to take home was just amazing. So we're hoping to get more involved with that organization and do more things. But yeah, the students, you could see it in their eyes. It was
Absolutely.
yeah, it's really good. I think that's it. Okay. Moving on to 6.1. Oh, yes.
Oh, where the money came from, yes,
Oh.
yes.
Yes.
Sorry,
Well,
please clarify.
In terms of the camp that you were just talking about, which was very exciting, we've seen
Yeah, own it.
videos and pictures. We were able to provide those opportunities to our elementary and junior high students with our summer enrichment ESSER funds.
Yes.
So, yeah. So
Summer
we
enrichment
were
ESSER
able to
funds.
do maker spaces and drop-in activities as well as those camps. So our STEAM section of our Learning Innovation have been very busy this summer trying to make sure that we have a good pathway up to high school and provide additional STEAM opportunities at our elementary and junior highs.
Thank you, Doctor.
Love that. That's a good use of our money. All right, 6.1, consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, please?
Make a motion to approve all items under consent, including 6.1, minutes from the Board of Education meeting on August 5th, 2024, open and closed session, and 6.2 to approve the field trips for overnight and/or over 200 miles.
Second.
Are there any questions on the consent agenda?
Dr. Maria,
Aye.
Mr. Saron.
Aye.
Ms. Simulton,
Aye.
Mr. Ploger.
Aye.
Ms. Venmus.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Action item 7.1, approval of the personnel report. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve the personnel report as discussed and presented.
Second.
Mr. Ploger.
Aye.
Ms. Venmus.
Aye.
Mr. Saron.
Aye.
Ms. Simulton,
Aye.
Dr. Maria.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Action item 7.2, approval of banking services. Can I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve the selection of Serve Bank as our official banking services provider based on the outcomes of the RFP process.
Second.
Dr. Maria.
Aye.
Mr. Saron.
Aye.
Ms. Simulton,
Aye.
Mr. Ploger.
Aye.
Ms. Venmus.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Action item 7.3, approval of jetter purchase. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve the jetter purchase from Alan J. Coleman in the amount of $24,793.51.
Second.
You know, I just, I wasn't here last meeting when you had the discussion, and I'm sorry I wasn't, you guys know what's going on. Was it discussed that this is basically an investment that is going to pay for itself pretty quickly?
And not only that, yes, and not only that, we're using the settlement money from Joe.
Oh, okay, okay,
to pay for it, so he's not being paid for out of district funds.
okay. I just, want to make sure the community knows that, that's all, so, all right.
Okay, so can I have a motion to?
Already. We already made a motion.
Oh, no, oh, I'm sorry,
Aye.
wrong thing. Go on.
That's okay.
Dr. Maria,
Aye.
Ms. Simulton,
Aye.
Mr. Saron.
Aye,
Mr. Ploger.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Now can I have, so can I have a motion to return to public comment and move it to right now?
Are we making it 8.1? Is that what we're doing?
4.1, we're
Or just
moving to
revisit?
now. What are we moving it to?
I think I would just, I make it 8.1.
Okay, I make a motion to move,
We have 8.1 as adjournment, so,
Yeah, we'll change that to 9.1.
okay,
And make
perfect.
a motion to add 8.1 as public comment.
thank you.
Okay.
Make a motion to add 8.1 as public comment.
Second.
Ms. Venmus,
Aye.
Mr. Ploger.
Aye.
Ms. Simulton,
Aye.
Dr. Maria,
Aye.
Mr. Saron.
aye.
Motion passes 5-0. So on behalf of the Board of Education, I would like to thank the public for attending tonight's meeting. We value the feedback we receive from our members of the public and encourage everyone to take an active interest in their public school system. Residents interested in speaking to the board this evening are asked to have completed a comment card and presented it to the secretary to the board. When the secretary calls your name, I ask that you come to the microphone, state your name for the public record, and provide your feedback. Please note that comments are limited to 5 minutes per person and that no discussion of personnel matters, stating staff names, or responses to your questions are permitted. The board does not participate in discussions during public comment. Follow-up to your questions or comments or concerns will be addressed by administration through the contact information provided on the comment card. Thank you.
Michelle Traeger.
Thank you, Board. I was trying to help a first-time dad to the district who was lost and looking for an early childhood education meeting. So thank you, and thank you for helping me figure that out. And I think I got him pointed in at least the right direction. So I appreciate this. Thank you. Michelle Traeger. I have 4 kids in the district still. I want to say hello. I want to acknowledge the commendations that Dr. Calgatti received last week and the recognition of progress made. I want to thank Dr. Calgatti and the board members who welcomed students at the doors to their schools in the rain last Thursday and then traveled around the district. I want to share the reminder that next month is Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder Awareness Month and that September 9th is FASD Awareness Day. I hope that our district will continue to raise awareness and share information about this brain-based disability that occurs at least at a prevalence of 1 in 20, more than twice the rate of autism, and in our district, again, that amounts to at least 850 students who are likely impacted, most of whom are undiagnosed or misdiagnosed. So what I want to do is encourage the district to explore training in neurobehavioral approaches. And I know we don't have anyone here from diverse learners tonight. Make myself available, whatever I can do to provide resources to them. The word neurodiversity is used a lot now, but it's not just a new way or a nicer way of saying that a brain is functioning differently than expected. Similarly, when we say we strive to be trauma-informed, it means more than trying to create safe spaces and felt safety. It means believing that trauma may have changed the way the brain developed. It requires actual training in how we work with individuals, recognizing that the standard ways we have been taught, social learning, cognitive behavioral, star charts, sticker charts, point systems, and I was taught that way a long time ago too as a school social worker and a mental health worker. Those are not effective for all types of students, particularly when we suspect a brain that functions differently. It's not enough to have the heads of our programs learn a little about FASD. This takes real commitment to examine our values. So I wanted to share a couple little examples from last year that I know of that sort of illustrate this necessary value shift. In one elementary school, a volunteer was asked by an aide if he would mind talking to a young student for a few minutes about the student's favorite cartoon characters. Very soon, the teacher came out and stated that the student's behavior did not merit him getting that attention and that time to talk about his interest, and she took him back to the room. I know in at least 2 elementary schools, and I'm sure there are others, where young students were not allowed to attend their classroom parties. Not because they were unsafe during the actual parties, but as a consequence for behavior in the days leading up to the party. I know that makes sense to us with our value systems, but let me ask you, and it's not rhetorical, do you think that consequence changed those students' behaviors? That they remembered the next time they were dysregulated, that they were able to connect cause and effect, that they were able to regulate and behave as expected if they just tried harder? The answer for some of these students is no. And what do you think happened when the students realized they had missed their class parties? The feelings of rejection grow and build on each other, and perhaps the behavior escalated again because of it. I haven't usually shared my personal experience with these situations, but when my son was in 2nd grade, he missed the Valentine's party. He had been warned. It had been explained. If you don't earn this many points, or if you have a tantrum, then you won't be allowed to attend. He was asked, did he understand? Yep. He ended up missing the party, which to him didn't make sense because the day of the party, he had been earning all of his points. I had signed up to work that party, which I did, while he sat off in some other room. That was 10 years ago. It still sticks with me, and that was when I didn't know better, so I went along with it. That's what I mean about a values shift. If we're using these systems and these consequences that don't result in improved outcomes, why don't we try something new? Instead, we say the student is defiant, resistant. We say they should be able to meet these expectations based on their age or their verbal abilities. But we're missing that parts of their brains did not evolve as expected. Maybe the working memory, retrieving information, making connections, processing, understanding cause and effect, or sensory stimuli. And it is different for each student. And it is a scattered profile, meaning they perform close to expectations in some areas but not in others. It also means inconsistent performance from day to day. Some days they may be able to perform a task and the next day not be able to do that exact same thing. Are they lazy? Are they oppositional? This does not mean we don't ask for accountability. We still do. But we do it while accommodating for an environment that is a poor fit for the brain-based disability and shifting our thinking and values from behaviors to symptoms of that disability. Please consider that, and again, anything I can do to help our new diverse learners team pursue that neurobehavioral approach, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 9.1, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.